This is Leetcode problem 19, remove nth node from end of list, a medium level problem. You're given an input array and an integer n, and you need to remove the nth element from the end of the list. Now we're going to jump over to VS Code and go over my solution and then discuss kind of the difficulties presented when you're working with singly linked lists. So I am taking their input array because I prefer when they are having their examples showcase a singly linked list, especially when you have that example 1 showing you node 1, node 2, node 3, and only a single vector pointer to the next node. That's when I like to actually recreate the problem how they intended. So I created a basic list node here, actually they did, and I created a function here that'll convert their array into a linked list so that I can actually have my solution work as if it is a singly linked list versus an array directly. Now the one caveat here is just I end up, in order to get the length of the list when it's a singly linked list, you would have to traverse through the entire list and maintain a head attribute so you could go over the list again. And so you'd have to go through all of those, and then you would have to, that's where you would get the count or the overall length, and then you would subtract n from that, and you would know which node to work upon and change the values. Otherwise, what you would need to do here is, in my case, I was sacrificing a little bit of time and memory by taking all of these nodes and inputting them into a list I so that I can get the length. And so that's what this portion does. It gets the length. And now I am basically here, if the length of the list is just the same as n, then it would just be returning the same exact thing. And so that's what I have showing here, meaning if there's just a 1 input array and the n has 1, then it's going to return the next element, skip over it, and thereby it's going to mimic deleting that one node. Otherwise, I have before being the portion just before n by taking the overall length of the list and subtracting n plus 1 from it. And then I have the after position of the node removing by taking before and then adding 2 index values to it. And then I'm replacing the before node's next attribute pointer to the one afterwards, so after the node removing. And then I simply return the same head value that I have stored. Now, in order to do this problem, say, faster and not take up as much memory, you would kind of have to create an abstract base class for a singly linked list that would store the length value. That could be, so you can simply call up your length and it would return for you the length of the singly linked list. With that one attribute, you would be able to avoid having to traverse an on through this entire singly list once and adding it to an array, an unnecessary feature, and then getting the length. So you'd be able to eliminate that whole step, simply traverse to this portion. And that was Leetcode problem 19. Grover is my name. Blue Collar Codes, the quick and dirty. Thanks for joining.